Hey folks, it's a daily podcast, a GameDevNewbie point podcast. I'm going to do something new where I'm going to do like a quick 15-minute update every day, or almost every day. So this is like podcast episode 5.1, something like that. And today I was working on getting these power-ups to randomly drop off the enemy objects, and I pretty much got it working, except for the health. And the health power-ups, which are the pink ones, they don't seem to give me health all the time, and I don't know why. They sometimes they run like that one just did, and then sometimes they don't, and I have absolutely no clue why it's doing that. And I'll show you the code that I'm looking at in a minute. But real quick, just to give you a demonstration of what's going on, I was able to implement the drops that I talked about in episode 5 podcast yesterday, where as the enemies are destroyed or dispatched, they will randomly drop one of these power-ups, and each different color square is a power-up. So the green ones are a movement speed power-up. The red ones do melee damage, so it'll be increased melee damage. What other ones? I think the blue ones will do fire rate, so increases in the fire rate, as you can see there, for 5 seconds. The gold ones over here, they are gold, but you don't see any changes because I haven't implemented a GUI text to show me how much gold I've collected. The rainbow colored ones, the ones that are changing colors, they are the invulnerable ones. So when you pick those up, you are invulnerable for a little bit. The green one, what the heck are the green ones? The green ones, I think the green ones are the shot power. So as you pick up green power-ups, the damage done by your projectiles increases. And finally, the health. As you can see here, the pink squares, if I go over that, you'll see that I did not collect the health that time. I don't know why. Just randomly it decides, hey, I'm going to stop working. Let's pick up a few more and see if it works again. Nope, it just stopped working. It was working earlier when I started the video, and now it is not working at all. So yeah, so here's where I'm at. Right now I have the power-up set to drop every single time, but I have a variable that is pretty much a percentage drop rate, and I forgot to set my clock, my timer. I only want to go 15 minutes, but I'll set it now. I'll say we've been going for, I don't know, 4 or 5 minutes. Alright. So that's where we're at. And there I died. Okay. So what's going on here? How did I make this work? Alright, so real quick, let's take a look at some of the scripts. Alright, well, first things first. Power-up factory. Okay. So every enemy unit that is spawned, go over here to the prefabs, take a look at the enemy prefab. And every enemy prefab has 2 new scripts on script components. First one being the power-up object variables. This is where all the power-up objects are stored or pointed to. And then there is the power-up factory. In the power-up factory, if you remember from the previous podcast, this is where we actually generate the power-ups. And each one is generated when the health of an enemy object is less than 0. Alright, but now I've added a new twist to this. It says if the current health is less than or equal to 0, and if determine if drop method returns true. What is the determine if drop method? Determine if drop method is here, and it's basically a Boolean method which will generate a random percentage number. So we generate a random range, a random number, in this case an integer, between the number between 0 and 100. So that will give us a percentage. So this will return, let's say, 70, and it enters it into this variable here, random percentage. And then we ask, if the random percentage is less than or equal to the percent drop rate, then return true, else return false. So what this does is that if the percent drop rate, if the random percentage is less than or equal to the percent drop rate, which is defined as a public integer up here, and you can set that in the inspector. If it returns true, then we drop the power up. All right. So if drop returns true, then we drop power up, and we pass into power up this second method, determine the power up, which returns a game object. Okay. So drop power up is going to pass a game object, which is returned to it by this determine power up. So let's take a look at determine power up real quick. All right, so determining power up is a game object method, which is a method that returns a game object, and in it we define a game object called chosen power up. We define a random power up choice, and we do that by generating a random number between 0 and 6. And why do we pick 0 and 6? Well, there are 7 power-ups. There's 6 power-ups, and there's 1 gold drop. So we do a switch statement, and we case every single one of these random numbers. And if it's case 1, we'll drop a power-up number 1. If it's case 2, we drop power-up number 2, and so on and so forth. And then if it's case 0, we will we'll set chosen power up to gold drop, and then we'll return chosen power up. So if we go back up here to drop power up, we return this game object, whichever one it was we chose, and then we pass it on to this as the argument to drop power up. And let's take a look at drop power up real quick. Drop power up is really easy. It's basically just a statement that says instantiate the power up at the transform position and transform rotation. So it's just going to instantiate that whatever object we pass to it. In this case, it's going to be whatever power up prefab that we pass on to it. Now, how do we know which power up prefab we want to do? Well, all those are determined here in the the game object variables in the power up object variables script. And we set those in the inspector. So if we just go to the enemy object prefab, take a look at power up object variables, we just drag and drop all the power ups onto these 6 or 7 game object variables. That's pretty much it. That will drop a power up whenever the enemy dies. Well, it will drop a power up every time the enemy dies, or enemy is dispatched, dependent on the drop rate, or the drop percentage, which is also set in the right here in the inspector. That's pretty much it. Not too bad. Not too difficult. However, I seem to be having a problem with the health power up. Not really related to generating the power ups when the enemy dies, but somewhere in the power up health script, this code isn't going. This stuff here, well, let's just say this stuff here isn't happening. For some reason the object is being destroyed, but none of this other code is actually running. Even though it's all inside the same if statement, this is all inside the same if statement. For some reason this isn't running when the player collects the health power up. I don't know why. It could be just some kind of fluke in Unity, and I just have to restart Unity or something and it will work again. I was having a similar problem earlier where the power-ups weren't working, and then all of a sudden they were working out of nowhere. No explanation. So I guess after I'm done this quick podcast, I'll try rebooting and see what happens, or reloading Unity. What else do we got going? That's pretty much it for today. That covers pretty much all the drops that I wanted to work on, that I set up in this design doc here. We got a movement speed buff, melee damage, range damage, firing rate, health, and invulnerability, and some gold dropping off of all the enemy objects. And that's it. That's what I worked on today. Hopefully I can get this health object working. Let's go over to my webcam and talk to the webcam. I've got like 8 more minutes. No. 7 plus, let's say 7 plus 5. I only got a couple more minutes. That's alright. This is going to go, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do these short podcasts every day, and then under 15 minutes, and they can go off to YouTube, where you can watch them at leisure. But they'll also be on the Ustream archive. Alright. So, that's it. That's it for today. Hope everybody got to learn something new or something. Alright, so we'll end on trying to play this game and figure out why these health power-ups are not working. See, look, it worked that time. Look, health 11, health 12, health 13. And now it's not working. Oh well. Alright, maybe we'll see. I figured this out yesterday. I'll let you all know. Until then, enjoy the chip tunes.